Hello everyone and welcome to Curl Up with Cathy Bramley, and today I've got an amazing guest for you. It's somebody I've done lots and lots of events with and I always have great fun with, and it's really going to be really good to chat to her this morning from her home. I'm in my tree house as usual. It's absolutely freezing today, but I've got my coffee and I'm very, very pleased to welcome Debbie Johnson. She's going to join me any second on the screen. Hello, Debbie.
Hello.
You've brushed your hair, mate.
Hello. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I love your setup. Is that what room are you in your house?
This is what's known as stage dressing. Oh. This is literally the hallway of my house. I'm sitting next to the toilet, in fact, which I won't tell you. And minutes before I started talking to you, I dusted those shelves, cleared them of the detritus that had been building up for months, and added some flowers just to make me look more sorted and cool than I am.
Glamorous, yeah.
This is my hallway. So if my kids walk past, my husband walks past, my dogs walks past, I'm sorry.
I'm not so worried about anyone walking past. I'm more worried about anyone going to the loo.
They'll have to go to the upstairs loo, Cathy.
Is it out of bounds?
It's simple as that.
Have you got plenty of loo roll in there?
Yeah, luckily we were pretty well stocked up anyway. I'm kind of one of those people who always has a lot of everything in the house and who has kind of been preparing for societal collapse for most of my life. So yeah, there's always a lot of stuff in our house, which is excellent now. And also I've been able to share with friends. I've become quite the popular person for having a little bit of spare loo roll, a bit of spare kitchen roll, even a bit of spare hand sanitizer.
Wow.
I know. Don't reveal my address. There could be trouble.
Yeah. Well, my husband hasn't been involved in any of the lockdown procedure in terms of getting supplies in, but he did walk down to our local garage and came back with a litre of what he thought was hand sanitizer. It was like, look, hand sanitizer, a litre. I was like, a litre? Turned out to be soap. He just bought this litre of hand soap, and we've got so much hand soap, I can't tell you. Anyway, we've got another litre now.
This is the way I'm viewing it. It won't go wasted. You'll use it at some point. You will continue to wash even after the lockdown is over.
Well, let's hope we all do that, yes. Because clearly there's been a lack of hand washing going on in the world.
This is very true.
The sudden requirement for soap in the house. So, yeah. Anyway, so it is, I'm recording this on a very grey day. It's quite cold up here, I must say, but you're obviously nice and warm because you're in your hall. So tell me, it's Monday. Yeah. What are you up to today?
Well, I usually schedule the first couple of hours for panic and fear, and reading news updates that bother me. And then I go to the stage of, I'm going to let that drift over me now and do something more productive. So I may well do some work. I have got a book to write. I've also got a new book coming out, so I need to do some work promoting that. And I'm trying to keep my kids in a schedule as well. I've got teenagers, and so much to their absolute joy, they've been told they have to stay in a sort of, roughly speaking, school day. So they start their work at 10. They did negotiate a later start, very savvy of them. So then, it's quite structured, sort of give them lunch. I'm the dinner lady. And the big events seem to be sort of food, really, what we're going to eat, what comes next on the domestic front. It's all very exciting.
Yeah.
The things that didn't.
So tell us a little bit about your new, hold on a second, I'll show it in the stream if I can get my cursor. I've always got a problem with cursor. Oh, here we go. I saw it move then. My cursor disappears all the time. Right, this is your new book, Maybe One Day.
Yep.
Tell us about this one.
Yes, that's out on Thursday.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay. Well, Maybe One Day is about a young couple called Joe and Jess. When we first meet them, she's 17, he's 18, and they fall madly in love in that way that you only can when you're that age. Everybody's against it. He's a bit of a bad boy. She's from a sort of nice, secure home. Her parents aren't keen. The world seems set against them. But somehow, against the odds, that they make a go of it and they build a life together. And obviously that isn't the end. That's just the beginning. There's a tragedy that tears the two of them apart. Some pretty bad stuff happens to both of them as they separate, they split up, they go down different paths in life. Jess has always believed that Joe left her, and she's been heartbroken about it for most of her adult life. And then a chain of events leads her to discover that Joe didn't leave her. He would never have left her. So the situation was out of his control. And then we go on a bit of a funny road trip, really, where she's tracking him down. She's a bit of detective work, some colourful characters along the way. And it's all about, A, whether she can find Joe, but B, it's about learning about what happened in his life when they were apart. And I suppose what it's really about is her opening up her life again and allowing herself to live with some hope and love in it.
Mm. Well, I love this book because I read it earlier in the year and I absolutely loved it. And I think your readers are going to absolutely devour it. And it is slightly different direction for you, but I think that your heart still is in it, and therefore you will bring your old readers to this new book. So I think everyone's going to love it. Fingers crossed that it does really, really well for you.
Yeah.
I think we're all looking at book launches in a slightly different way at the moment, because it was very much like, you know, the imminent sort of the first 2 weeks are so critical, but we have so much of what's going on with books is out of our control at the moment. So I think that reading is definitely something we're all still doing, a lot more of in a lot of people's cases. So I think maybe that instead of that spike that we normally see, we're not drop off like that, you know, the spike that we see, that hopefully it'll be a longer tail. And that we'll continue to see book sales carrying on throughout the summer. But presumably you've had to cancel some of your events.
Yeah, I mean, one of them being with you and Millie Johnson in Liverpool at Waterstones, which, you know, we always have a really good laugh at, don't we?
We do, yeah.
So I'm sad to have missed that one. Sad to have missed all of them, not just because of the fact that they promote the books, but because, genuinely it's lovely to get out there, to meet readers, to do the signings, meet people face to face, because, you know, our jobs can be a little bit lonely and a little bit isolating. So you look forward to those events, really, because it kind of gives you a bit of connection with people. But yes.
It does. And I remember when we did one in Liverpool a year ago, maybe, or just over a year, and there was people will come up to us and say, this book helped me through a really difficult time, and they can share that story with you that they wouldn't necessarily have done, you know, on social media. So that's really special, isn't it, when that happens?
It really is. It's an absolute privilege, and that's what makes it sort of worthwhile, really. When you're frustrated or you're worried about money, or you're worried about all the things in life that get on top of us, especially when you work at home on your own sometimes. It's when you get those messages or you meet those people and you hear those stories and you realize that you have helped somebody. And, you know, I'm an absolutely useless person, Cathy. I'm one of those people who can't do anything. I can't change curtains. I'm rubbish at cleaning. I'm really, really crap. In all honesty, I'm neither use nor ornament. The one thing I can do is write these stories, and that does seem to give people a bit of a boost. It gives them a bit of hope. If nothing else, it gives them a bit of escapism, and certainly at the moment, we for sure all need that.
Yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't be too hard on yourself, because you've already said you can share your loo roll with your neighbours. So, you know, if that's not a vital skill in today's society, I don't know what is.
That's true. I haven't looked at it like that. I'm actually tremendously useful. You're right.
You are. So you've got a dog, haven't you? Or have you got more than one?
I've got 2 dogs.
2 dogs.
Neither of whom are around at the moment. I've got Sunny, who is a golden retriever. She's a beautiful princess pedigree, you know, absolutely the sort of dog that people stop in the street and admire.
Yeah.
She's so beautiful and so privileged. And she's tremendously confident because she's always lived with us since being a puppy. She's just had a lovely, lovely life surrounded by people who adore her. And I have what we call our Hungarian rat dog, who was he was adopted from a rescue in Hungary, and he had a terrible start in life, abusive. start in life. I shan't go into the stuff that happened to him, but none of it was nice. So he's been a completely different proposition because, for a start, he does look a little bit like an overgrown black rat, maybe a bit like a capybara or something. He's one of those dogs, like dogs you used to get in England in the 80s that were a mix of so many different types roaming the streets, a real proper mongrel.
Yeah.
And when we got him, he was terrified of everything, terrified of us, terrified of plastic bags, terrified of opening a can. Everything scared this little dog.
Oh.
And we've had him for, I think, 7 months now, and I think he'll always be on the skittish side, but he is so much better. He's so confident now, and even just the fact that he comes and sits on you and asks for a cuddle and a bit of a love is just it's really, really nice. So they couldn't be more different, really. We call them Thor and Loki because Sonny looks all healthy and blonde, and Gary looks all sort of weaselly and a little bit shady. But they're both absolutely lovely. Yeah.
Do the dogs sit with you when you're writing?
Yeah, they do. They are my writing buddies and my everything buddies, really. But yeah, I sit on. I don't have a writing room, sadly. I don't have a tree house or an office. There's just too many people in my house for me to have a space of my own. So I have a corner of the sofa. That's what I have, a corner of the sofa, and the dogs sit next to me. And they usually just crashed out after a nice walk on the beach in the morning, and they literally will stay with me all day. And sometimes, I'm sure you've perhaps encountered this yourself, they try and help by having a little patter on the keyboard with their paws.
Yeah.
With
Pearl, it's just
have this. Cats more, I think, but dogs as well will do this sometimes. Yeah. If you're not paying them enough attention, they will just reach out and whack the keyboard.
Well, I'll sometimes sit on the sofa with my laptop on my lap, and then if I lean forward, like before I can even lean back, she's behind me, like holding a ball. I'm like, I can't move back now. Or she'll just lollop herself right over the keyboard. So then I'm like trying to touch it like that. So yeah, she does get very involved, and she just loves to be with someone all the time. So if anyone sits still, she's by their
all
side
over
straight
them.
away.
Yeah. I think dogs are probably really happy at the moment, actually, because everybody's at home for a change, aren't they?
Yeah. Apart from the ones that are absolutely knackered because they keep being taken out for walks.
They've had 20 walks a day. Yeah.
So you just said the beach. Are you very close to the beach?
Yeah. We're about 5-minute drive, sort of 10 to 15-minute walk. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that.
It's people often don't. They, but the coast around Liverpool's got some absolutely beautiful scenery, and most of it's National Trust. You go a little bit further up, it's there's National Trust Coast and a red squirrel reserve. There's all sorts of nice stuff. But our local beach is just really, really nice. And we're lucky to have it. It's a nice open space, and when you walk by the sea, you always feel a little bit like you're on the edge of the world, don't you? It gives you a sense of freedom.
Yeah.
So that's really enjoyable, and especially at the moment we're really, really lucky to have that.
So you've got Baby One Day coming out on Thursday. Have you got your next one sort of in the pipeline? Do you know what's going on with that?
Yeah, I have got the next one in the pipeline. I don't know about you, Cathy, but I'm struggling a bit to write at the moment. I'm not really concentrating as much as I normally would. I'm sort of quite an unstructured writer. I don't plan very much, tend to sort of throw myself into something, and I had this initial concept for this book, and it's gone really well, but I'm struggling to pass the final hurdle a little bit, just because it's hard to focus, and like everybody else at the moment, we've got older relatives to think about, and all of the logistics that go with trying to ensure that they're safe and well supplied, and all the rest of it. So it's actually and also cleaning. I've never done cleaning. I'm not really a cleaning kind of person. And now I have to clean. And it's like, it takes up so much time.
And it's such a waste of time. And it's such a waste, isn't it? Literally. I went in my bathroom this morning. There's just fluff all over the floor from somebody's socks. Like, who's done that? I only hoovered it yesterday.
I know. And you do find yourself, you're like, who left this cup here? Whereas in the past, I've just been, it's cut, doesn't matter. But now, obviously, cleaning is part of my life. So I am finding I'm a little bit distracted, and maybe a little bit busier than normal as well.
I feel really busy.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
busy.
It's a bit like when you have a newborn baby and it's all quite boring, but you're really busy and really tired.
Yeah.
You know, that same
Yeah. Well,
feeling.
I've got to come up with some ideas for some new books, and I'm just trying not to think of story where people are locked in a house together. You know, that's,
I
I can't
know.
get past that at the minute. So
I know. It's actually
yeah.
one of the things I'm struggling with is that it feels feels a little bit like the world maybe won't be entirely the same when we come out the other side, and
Yeah.
it will maybe change people's attitudes, sometimes for the worse, sometimes for the best. But I think there'll be change, and the book I'm writing is a book that examines how one traumatic event changes the course of a group of people's lives and how they relate to each other and the choices that they were going to take. And I'm just suddenly starting to feel like whenever you're writing now, it feels like it's a little bit out of date because it doesn't include the stuff that's going on at the moment.
Social distancing, hand
Yeah,
sanitizer.
yeah. I mean, how can you write a sex scene with social distancing? You know? So it's all very strange. I think we're all in a strange position at the moment.
Yeah,
Aren't we?
we are.
So have you got to come up with a list of new ideas for your future book?
Yeah, I'm going to do it sometime. I might just go and watch some films and see what pops up. But who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much, Debbie. I wish you all the very, very best with the book coming out, maybe one day, which comes out on Thursday. It's available all over the place, online, Amazon, obviously. All your independent bookshops will be stocking it. Hive. So go for it. I really recommend it. It's a great book. So thank you so much for joining me, Debbie. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.
Thank you, Cathy.
That was Debbie Johnson speaking to us live from her hall. Thanks so much for joining me. And don't forget, there's lots more author chats if you go to my YouTube channel or on Facebook. Speak to you soon. Bye.